Hello everyone and welcome to another Challenger Misfortune analysis, and today I have something very spicy for you because we are looking at JebahDontTalk. I haven't analyzed one of his games in a while, but he's also one of the best Misfortune players out there, and this game he does something very odd. He goes for a bruisery off-tank Misfortune build, if that makes sense. So he really only builds one purely offensive item, which is Blade of the Ruined King. All the other items are also, well, Blade of the Ruined King also has Lifesteal, which is a defensive stat, but all the other items have rather heavy defensive capabilities. So I think, well, first of all, let's talk about his runes. So he starts with, he goes with Conqueror, Triumph, Legend Alacrity, Coup de Grâce, Manaflow Band, and Absolute Focus. So these are his runes. And his first item is Death Stance. He rushes Death Stance, which has surprising synergies. Well, not surprising, but decent synergies between itself and the rune Triumph, because... Oh, he took it as a Q. That feels bad. Because you can stay alive for longer, at least a little bit, because some of the damage is turned into a bleed effect, right? So you die a little bit later, and if you manage to kill your opponent before you bleed out, you then proc Triumph, which restores some health and keeps you alive. So very nice synergy there. Also there's a cute synergy between Conqueror and Triumph. Same reason, because if you stay in combat for long enough, you proc your Conqueror fully, and then Conqueror also gives you an extra source of healing. So yeah, I think you kind of get the idea already. But the Death Stance keeps you in combat for long, or not, well, it keeps you in combat, yes, but it allows you to survive longer in combat. And once you trigger your Conqueror, the Conqueror healing might stop you from bleeding out as well. So this is already a nice little synergy there. Also, you have to keep in mind the enemy team is very AP heavy, so Ezreal is the only true AD damage dealer, and even he has, well, his Q deals physical damage. His auto attacks also deal physical damage, but every other ability deals magic damage. And LeBlanc mid lane, Elise jungle, Sion top lane. Okay, Sion can also go for a... he's more like a tank, so his Q is AD, or physical damage rather. So there's that, but Jebah can itemize very efficiently if he just goes for a lot of magic resist, which is exactly what he does. He also goes for, I don't know the exact order, we will see over the course of the game. Ooh, let's look at the gank. The Silas. The instant heal, oh, the counter gank, they need to disengage. They need to disengage. Silas should be fine, or he's dead. Wow, they just completely bursted that Silas. Yikes. Oh well. Let's talk about the build again. So Jebah goes for a Mortal Reminder this game, but also for a Spirit Visage, so a purely tank item. And obviously Spirit Visage is cooldown reduction, magic resist, health, and amplifies all the healing effects. So it amplifies Triumph, it amplifies Conqueror, it amplifies Death Stance, it amplifies Lifeline from Mortal Mortius, it also amplifies Lifesteal from Blade of the Ruined King. So have I mentioned already that there's too much healing in the game? It's ridiculous, but we'll see how it plays out. Right now it's still a pretty normal lane phase. He is Q maxing, it seems, 2 points in Q, 1 point in W. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean he's Q maxing, but knowing Jebah, he probably is Q maxing. Ooh, that's a big hit. Nice, he walks with him. Yeah, that's enough. Oof. The tower shot. Alright, yeah, but they got the kill. So that's nice. Yeah, they push this under tower. You always want to push under tower before you recall, so the wave can then reset and the enemy misses all these minions under turret. So Karma gets the XP. Oh, she might stop them. Jebah isn't looking. He's just not... Wow. Challenger tier player, currently playing a game in Master Elo. This happens. Okay, fair enough. It happens to all of us. We all make mistakes. It is okay. And he goes for a BF sword first. I think this goes for... yes, he buys BF sword first in this game, probably because he had the gold. Yeah, he just had enough gold for a BF sword, and this is like a mini power spike, because you pay 1,300 gold, but you get actually AD in the worth of 1,400 gold, because well, 40 AD is worth 1,400. So it's very efficient and a nice power spike, and he will upgrade this into a Guardian Angel later on. Getting soloed by the support, that's not a good look. Yeah, he should have waited for the Morgana. Lost all his health for no reason. Before you can fight or do anything, really, you need to wait until the wave is in a favorable spot again. If the enemy minions are so huge in numbers, then it's obviously good because you can farm all of them, but you cannot fight in them because they deal a lot of damage to you, especially in the early game. So you need to clear the wave first. Now the wave is reset, it's back to neutral, and then you can start laning normally again. Ooh, that's a big snare. Nice. Very good. Okay, so the Sylas gank coming in clutch here, and now rinse and repeat. They push this wave under turret, then they recall, get item advantage, and then they can start doing something in lane. Ezreal probably is looking to buy his tier now, which puts him in a power trough. Oof. I would not pick this fight, really. Morgana dies for no reason, yeah. Wow, she actually didn't die. Definitely calculated. But they really need to push this wave. It's too important. They can't, yeah. They have to leave it. Or maybe Sylas can do something. What a play. Oh my god. Yo. Okay, that was a very fortunate chain of events. The Sylas dive seemed pretty safe. He just needed to hit the stolen Ezreal ulti on the Karma, and then everything was okay. Ezreal getting caught in Morgana binding while Misfortune is already channeling ulti is obviously very, very fortunate. Oof, okay, so Jebah is currently but okay, hit mana for 1 W. So they do attempt to push this under tower, which is fine. It's a little bit difficult with a cannon minion, but they had... Oof, you cannot allow her to hold this. Jebah is already too far away. This is such an awkward spot. But yeah, she should die. The minions probably did more damage to the Karma than Morgana. And he was at like 20% health, but due to 3 or 4 Triumph procs, he just got to full health again. It's crazy. Right, now it's under tower, and now you definitely need to back off, because you have no mana and 2,000 gold in your inventory. Or your jungler might need help. You cannot just get rest in this game, it seems. Okay. The Sylas with a power move. And finally Misfortune can back off, get her items. So she is buying... She's actually buying a Serrated Dirk. Oh no. Refunding the Serrated Dirk. Getting Warhammer. Working, yeah, Warhammer builds into Death's Dance. Warhammer, longsword plus boots. Sounds good. Go Sylas. How long does he keep this Elise ulti, I wonder? Ouch. That's one dead Sylas though. Oh, that was very poorly coordinated. Misfortune could have tanked 2 tower shots, Morgana could have taken 1 more, and Jace didn't need to die there. But it's obviously difficult to set up these plays in solo queue. Yeah, that's hopeless. Getting mauled by those two. Unfortunate. And not enough gold to buy anything meaningful, or does he? Yeah, he can buy a Vamp Scepter. And he does, okay. So Vamp Scepter plus Warhammer, they go into Death's Dance, as I've mentioned. Alright, so first Drake on the map, by the way, is an Ocean Drake. And if you have the chance to grab an Ocean Drake during the lane phase, you have then immediately won said lane phase, because Ocean Drake in lane is just so ridiculously strong. Ever since they buffed the first dragon, so the first kind of a dragon you get, it gives a bigger of a bonus. Ever since that happened, Ocean Drake in lane is just even more ridiculous. And yeah, consequently we see a lot of action happening around bot lane. And Jebah is indeed Q-maxing, okay. Just to make sure. Platings are still there for another 2 minutes. Ooh, nice. Ah, unfortunate. He's still dead though. Yeah, that trade is fine. That was a very unclean play. Because Morgana died and she didn't really need to. But it's still 1 for 1 and the enemy AD carry dies. And the kill goes onto Misfortune. Morgana gets an assist. They only get a kill on the Ezreal. Oof, that's bad. Yeah, she might die here. Yeah, there's no way you live this. Sion way too tanky. He only has magic resist though, but a lot of HP, so it doesn't really matter. And they get Ocean Drake now. Well, lane phase is almost over anyway, so had they gotten this earlier, that would have been way worse. Ocean Drake is a lot less effective after lane phase. But it completely shuts down the lane for anybody when you get it early. However, at minute 13 it's a little bit too late. It's still good, don't get me wrong, dragons are always good. You should always take objectives, but it could be worse. Let's just put it like this. Why do you run into 4 people like that? Ah, that's painful to look at. Straight up inting. Oh well. Maybe he's a little bit on tilt. Maybe he's yeah. Again, it happens. Sometimes you just don't get all the pieces of information that you need because you're looking elsewhere on the map or on other parts of the minimap or tunnel visioning or whatever. It does happen. Mistakes have been made. You don't have to play flawlessly like a robot to get into Master or Challenger or Grandmaster. You can still make mistakes and still win games. It's no problem. Nobody's perfect. Enemies also make mistakes. Happens all the time. By the way, his shards, I didn't talk about that. His shards are also plus 10% attack speed and adaptive force and armor. Armor shards are basically... Oh, had the Triumph proc reached him earlier, that could have been very cute. But yeah, it looks like he's just dead, right? The heal, the flash, Triumph, and now Conqueror stacked. Yeah, had he had a finished Death's Dance there, now he finished Death's Dance, but had he had Death's Dance during that fight, that would have been so good. And he already goes for the Spectre's Cowl. Okay. I didn't think he would buy his Spirit Visage that early. And a Hex Drinker, yeah. Okay, he refunded it. Not and, but instead of it, rather. He bought Hex Drinker. But yeah, that makes way more sense, because he doesn't have that many healing effects. Well, to be fair, he does. He does have a couple of healing effects there, but he needs more damage first. Because lifesteal obviously scales with damage. And if you don't have damage, you don't lifesteal that much. Alright. Let's go in top lane now. It's okay. I mean, Dragon is off the map. Rift Herald is still there, so you do want to take this until, or you at least don't want the enemy to take this for free. So having manpower in the top lane is definitely a good call there. A lot of action in the mid lane though. And this is very risky, by the way. Morgana. Misfortune is pushed up way too far. And okay, the jungler is topside, so this makes it a little bit safer. But you can only really do this when you are with your support and your jungler is there. So you cannot really get blown out by the enemy with numbers advantage. Oh, I missed that one. So much going on this game. Okay, very nice. He waited until after Ezreal's blink, but unfortunately he still missed his stun, which is a skill shot. They got Ezreal's flash though, so that's a plus. By the way, I think Death's Dance is probably the most iconic item for JebahDontTalk. He, when he played with Summon Eerie Misfortune, he also always bought that item. Like second or third latest. I think his typical build path was, with Summon Eerie, was Ghostblade into Death's Dance. Into whatever. This doesn't make sense. This ulti does not make sense whatsoever. That's a premium frustration ult there. Especially when you don't have Edge of Night or something to protect you. 4 enemies that will just jump on you. You also did very little damage with that. But hey. Happens again. And now he bought Spectre's Call. Okay. Maybe he finishes... I would guess finishing Morpho Mortius first is better. But we'll see what he does. There's a lot of magic damage on the enemy team. That's for sure. I wonder why he doesn't buy boots though. I would guess against Karma, Snare, Elise Cocoon, Sion Stun, not the knockup part, but the stun part. LeBlanc Snare, I would guess early Merc Treads would be also very nice, but apparently he disregards boots a little bit in this game. Yeah. Alright, now top tower is taken. Taking mid tower is very difficult because they can swarm to it from both jungles, so from top side and bot side jungle. Ooh, I completely missed this fight. So bot tower is the, well, it's kind of a free objective. I mean, it's at what, 100 or 50 HP even. All right, yeah, this should be good. Conqueror proc. Oh, canceling auto. This could be close. Okay, he gets the Scion and the turret and trades. I'm not a fan of this. As soon as Elise came... Well, he seems a little bit tilted, that's for sure. As soon as Elise came, yeah, he knew he was dead. But I shouldn't have chased him under tower. It's a recurring theme that he just gets collapsed on over and over, so you need to adapt to that. However, it is 1 for 1. Morgana doesn't have Zhonya's, does she? Nah, she didn't even buy Zhonya's components, so the play like this obviously doesn't work. High elo games can be fiestas too, as you can see right there. They need to answer this Rift Herald. Heimerdinger cannot cannot trade evenly with a pushing Rift Herald. And now Ezreal is going to stop him anyway. Not again. At least Death's Dance kept him alive for long enough. You see that? Death's Dance kept him alive for long enough that he could get enough damage with his ulti. But still, he's eating an Elise Cocoon. He's face tanking Elise Cocoon, which should really not be happening. Ah, okay. There are the Merc Treads. That's nice. He's dying a lot though. But I saw this build, and also one of you guys wrote me a comment with the OPGG link to this match, and I saw it. I was very interested. He dies a lot, and it's not his best game, but it's a very interesting way of itemizing against a specific team comp. Yikes. Okay, so Dragon is on the map, and so is Baron. So, well, red team can shove mid lane and create pressure on the objectives that way. And I don't think blue team can do too much about it. So, well, blue team is behind, so they have to play reactive rather than proactive. They have to play a reactive game. But yeah, they can still de-push this, obviously. They're probably at Dragon right now. They have vision on the Baron area, so... And Baron is very risky. So they're probably just doing Dragon. Sion is... Oh, that's the stolen Sion ulti. I thought Sion was just ulting away through the jungle, which would have been interesting. Nice. Making great use of Conqueror too. He's snared for so long, despite his Merc Treads. Yeah, I need to auto the Ezreal here. With so much lifesteal. Oh, he still gets hit by the Cocoon. The minions finish her off, okay. This is iffy. Okay. This is still a tough spot. Oof, with the Conqueror proc, it does a lot of damage. And the magic resist helps too. Yeah. That's nice. They finally get this mid tower, which allows them to pressure objectives. Because as long as the mid tower is there, the mid wave will never push into far into the enemy jungle. Well, not jungle, but down the enemy mid lane. And well, if you cannot create pressure mid lane, you cannot sneak into the jungle without being seen. Which makes it a lot harder to take objectives. Mid tower is so important. Primarily for that reason. Okay, now there we go, the Spirit Visage coming out. And still sitting on the BF Sword, so just an early purchase for the BF Sword power spike. And not building it into anything right away. It's another dragon for them, and a dead Jason. Oh, okay, it flash. His fortune is coming from the top side, or from the jungle. This could be an okay fight. Cocoon is off the table. Now they just disengage. Doesn't make sense to chase here. Need to defend against this. If this tower falls, the pressure on the objectives gets even greater. Okay, stacking Conqueror. And the Conqueror ulti. Karma's dead. Yeah, they should get the Sion too. Can they push this though? Ezreal and LeBlanc are both coming. I don't think they should overstay here. With Baron on the map, you... Oh, that's unfortunate. With Baron on the map, you also need to play around topside a lot more. Because if they now respawn and you miss your reset, your back timing... Okay, that's big. They can sneak... Well, not sneak, but they can just take Baron. Okay, finally they are leaving bot lane alone. So push this wave and then recall, I think. He should have a lot of gold too. Yeah, almost 2,000. Can't just sit on 2,000 gold like that. Yeah, taking red buffs obviously good as an AD carry. But I'm really uneasy with the fact that he is still not spending his gold. Maybe he is wants 1,900 exactly for upgrading Hex Drinker. But now they could be pressuring Baron, and he's not moving there, but recalling instead. Okay, they're not at Baron. Still, it's risky. You're not with your team when your team needs you. Doesn't matter how many items you have. If you're not with your team, your stats don't matter. Okay, there's the Morph Mimoshes. But still, you cannot just walk into... Or can you? No, you can't. That would have been just crazy. I was about to say you cannot just walk into 4 people as an AD carry, even if you build tanky items. He almost got away with it, but apparently, no, you can't. Oh no, the spell shield blocking Sylas from going over with them. Yeah, that was too aggressive a positioning. But it does make sense. It's the same reason Conqueror is good on bruisers. You can't stay in combat for so long when you have tanky stats that that the Conqueror stacks plus the true damage and lifesteal really start to matter. However, face tanking 4 people as an AD carry, that's a no-go. Reinforcements are coming. Okay. Ezreal flash though. At least probably has Morello, yeah. Blanc too. Healing reduction might be an issue for this build. But healing reduction is super strong anyway in this meta. He just needs to run. This is so risky. They might be in here. Yep. He probably should have just tried to go back. Yeah, they fully collapse. You can stay alive against the Scion, but again, face tanking 4 people, that's not going to work. That might be Baron for them. And by that might be, I mean it definitely is. Setting Doran's Blade for a Chain West, I think. Doesn't make sense, they just get wiped. Yeah. Oh, nice ulti. Do they miss Baron for... What a mistake! Oh my god. Red team just completely threw Baron away. The Scion ulti out of the Baron pit completely cost them. Oh my god. That was a major throw coming from Red team. It's exactly what blue team needs here. Could you please just kill him? What is this? The karma keeping him alive over the wall long enough until his flash comes back up. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Wait, I'm watching the wrong perspective. I was watching from their point of view. Elise cannot 1v1 the Misfortune, that's for sure. She has way too much magic resist and lifesteal. Also LeBlanc cannot assassinate him, yeah. Nice. Yeah, these mages cannot touch him anymore. If it's just 2 people, and if he has backup, then that's fine. Oh, this is also still okay, I think. Ah, the Ezreal ulti might be too much. Oh, he's still going. Wow. He's tanking all of them, and the Ezreal ulti, and it doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. Phase tanking 2 people and 2.5 people is okay, apparently. 3 people, that's one too many. 4 people. 1.5 too many. Okay. Let's not try to make maths out of this. And I think, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he has 1 slot left, and he will go for a Guardian Angel next. Can they finish? I don't think so. They have 3 people alive. They cannot defend this inhibitor, but they can defend the Nexus turrets. They should reset. Scion respawns. Doesn't have ulti, but still. Yeah, okay. They reset. I think he now finishes his Guardian Angel. And we'll see. Also, he's just sold his Doran's Blade and bought nothing. Maybe he bought a control ward and I didn't see it, I don't know. Maybe he bought an elixir and immediately consumed it. But that would be odd. I think Doran's Blade is better than doing that. I hope LeBlanc returns. Because if not, one might argue that blue team got an unfair advantage by an enemy AFKing. So... Ah, okay, just bought a Blade of the Ruined King, and the LeBlanc is back. Okay, so Blade of the Ruined King as... Oh yeah, I said this in the beginning, he also buys Blade of the Ruined King, so this is his entire item build in this game. A lot of magic resist, a lot of lifesteal, some HP, some damage negation, and healing amplifier. And as a last item I think he goes for a Guardian Angel. So this BF sword might actually be a mistake, just sitting on a component for so long. Not the biggest fan. Yeah, they should just wait for supers to create enough pressure. And then they can take the inhibitor. There's no tower, so it shouldn't be too big of an issue. Red team is still very strong, obviously. They have a lot of gold on them. Wait. I want to look what Misfortune is doing. That's Conqueror. Nice. Yeah, she's just untouchable if she's with her team. Well, face tanking tower is probably not the best idea because she has no armor. But still, all the healing, all the defensive stats, and the Morgana Black Shield on top of that. Ooh, with healing reduction, yeah, that was too much. The Morella Nomicon triggered Grievous Wounds, and that completely well, not completely, but that greatly reduced the lifesteal. Yeah, they got the inhib at least, so they have 2 inhibs here. Baron spawns soon, and bot inhibitor is always free Baron pretty much, because bot lane is so far away from the Baron pit, and the enemy team will have to draw players towards bot lane eventually, so the supers don't just take the base. And then you can just take Baron for free. That's pretty much how it works. Alright. Jebah now with full items. This is probably going to be the final fight. They are... Well, from Red Team's perspective, how you win this is you need to hard engage under the Baron pit, or when they start the Baron. Then you need to hard engage. You cannot waste time going back and forth around Baron, because then you just give the super minions enough time to do damage to your base towers. And that's how you lose the game for free. So, Red Team needs a hard engage, and Blue Team needs to stall. Or to win the hard engage. Those are the 2 options. And yeah, Misfortune chasing away the Scion. She doesn't have any armor penetration, but she has true damage from Conqueror. So this is how she keeps her damage up. And obviously a lot of AD as well. 80 AD here, 50, another 40 with a percent damage on auto attacks, another 40 here. It's not too shabby. Obviously you could get to way more attack damage. I'm rambling too much. I want to see what's happening. Jace gets caught, right? Yeah. That sums it up pretty nicely. Jace gets caught, Scion TP's in, and this is when you retreat here. You don't want the full-fledged fight. You want to stall. And Red Team they really cannot afford to go for Baron, because it takes too long. Supers are already in the base. Yeah. They cannot afford to just take Baron. Nice Misfortune ults, but I think Heimerdinger finishes now, right? What? Wait. How many people are dying there? Because of one Misfortune ulti? Or... Oh, okay, she gets cocooned. The Flash R. And now she's in the middle of everyone. Kills 2 of them, gets 2 Triumph procs while respawning. Oh, okay, Ezreal kills her, I think. Yeah. Yeah, Grievous Wounds are too much, but I think Heimerdinger can finish it. Here's supers, and yeah, they cannot stop him in time. The Red Team greatly misplayed this Baron dance there. When they got the pick on the Jace, that was very good for them, because what they can do then, they can get one player to defend their base instead of further playing around the Baron. Because if they do that, it's still fine. They're under no risk, because if the enemy, or if Blue Team then hard engages, then they are still in a 4v4. And because Jace is dead, and the other player is defending the base, so they have all the time in the world to play around Baron properly, and to contest it without losing their base for free. So yeah, but they started Baron themselves, which obviously opened up their base big time. Because taking down Baron when the enemy team is harassing you is quite a difficult task and takes some time. But yeah, mistakes have been made. I just saw this build in the match history and I thought it looked really interesting. And I wanted to showcase it. Definitely many mistakes coming from Jebah in this game. I mean, he died 12 times. And most of those deaths were completely unnecessary and due to heavy positioning mistakes. But the item build is clever thinking, in my opinion, against almost full AP enemies. it can definitely work, but still you cannot just 1v4. It's you're still an AD carry, and if you get crowd controlled and cannot deal damage, you won't get anything out of your lifesteal, obviously. So there is that. I hope you enjoyed this weird tank misfortune build. And if you want more misfortune content, I upload daily. You can see some videos on the screen right now if you want to check them out. And also, new videos coming tomorrow, obviously. I upload today, as I've said. And I hope I see you then. And I also hope you have a nice day. Bye.